Hello, hello. Today we're going to be watching the Real Housewives of New York City season one reunion. There's only one episode. Usually there's three now. So I don't remember this. I'm excited to jump into it and see how drama filled this gets. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. This set looks so interesting to me. They're in the Russian tea room. It's very red. Andy looks so young. They're so close together on these couches. All the women look great. Okay, wait. So Andy asked the question when watching the show, did you learn something about your fellow housewife that you didn't know before? And Ramon is starting to go in on, she goes, Alex, and how she lives. And she's starting to go in on it. She's like, she has such nice clothing, and I was shocked to see her living conditions. Bold. That's a bold statement. Ramona's like, aren't you worried about your children having lead paint or nails or something? Oh my God, Luann's like, it was a little scary, I have to admit. Bethany says you're all show and no go. A little bit. You have all these very expensive vacations and clothes. I do have to say that house, they said it was $2.2 million. It's not they bought this very expensive house. So it needs a little renovation. I don't know. I'm kind of against the women on this one. Luann goes, hats off to you to actually letting people see inside that house. This is starting out hot. Alex is like, I have no issue. You guys have an issue. It's fine. Okay, they're talking about the detox that Jill sent Allie to. The viewer was like, was it really for her arthritis or was it for weight loss? And Jill's like, it was for both. She's like, I would have never sent her for just weight loss. Oh my God, she's saying that the weight that she lost was just water weight and it came back over time. Why would you talk about your daughter like that on camera? So Andy just asked, is there anything that made you cringe that you saw on the show that you did? Ramona talks about the night that she stormed out of the dinner party, and she said that she's trying to say that somebody close to me was ill. I don't believe it for 1 second. Okay, Ramona and Jill are fighting a little bit. There's a little tension. Jill's kind of calling Ramona out, and Ramona's not liking it. Ramona says if she would have known that Simon would have been there, she wouldn't have come. That Jill should have told her that Simon was going to be there so she could make her own decision. Jill's saying that they didn't show half of what Ramona said about Simon that night at the dinner. Well, Ramona's like, I was trying to apologize and you're attacking me, so I'm not going to apologize anymore. Jill says her cringe moment was where they caught the dog sticking, Ginger sticking her nose of Jill's nose, or Ginger sticking her tongue up Jill's nose. God, we got there. So Andy goes, I noticed you're not wearing an engagement ring. What's going on with you and Jason? Yeah, Bethany's confirming that Jason doesn't like being on television. Bethany said that she feels like she was trying to strangle the relationship and tie it in a perfect bow, and that's just not how relationships go. Oh, I love this freeze frame that I've got. Look at this. Andy asks, he's like, there's some controversy going around about the word socialite because they throw it around a lot in the show. And so Luann is kind of she's like, okay, why don't you, Andy's like, ask Luann, why don't you describe what a socialite is? And Luann's like, oh, it's somebody that's very social, has a very full social, calendar, and, that a lot of people want to be around those people. And then she points to Alex. Luann points to Alex and is like, yeah. And Alex has said very openly that that's who she wants to be. Alex is retracting and saying, no, I don't want to be a socialite. You said it on the show, on camera. Jill's talking about when when Alex and Simon were looking in the paper to see if she got photographed at the Met opening. And Jill's like, yeah, who does that? That was weird. Alex said that it was because of editing that she wanted to be this socialite. And Bethany's like, no, that's not it. This is you are, I've been on TV before. You are who you are. And the camera and the audience are very smart, which I agree with. Ooh, Andy's asking how Luann felt by her housekeeper, Rosanna, saying that she needs to spend more time with her kids. Let's see what her answer is. She says she's referring to her husband who travels a lot. Girl, no. Okay, so Andy's now asking, he said that Luann said she wanted her son to be well-rounded, or her children to be well-rounded. And Andy's like, how do you want that? And then you come up with this whole thing about being introduced to a driver in a certain way, which makes you more superior. That's what Luann basically wanted, right? Was to be superior to this driver. Let's see how she answers. So she's saying that her children would just would address people as Mr. and Mrs. She's saying it's not about position, it's about respect. Bethany's calling her out and being like, well, when I've introduced you to other girlfriends, you don't correct me and say Mrs. de Lesseps. But with the driver, you did. Bethany's like, you could have just let it go. What's the big deal? And Luann says it made her feel uncomfortable. She's kind of doubling down a little bit. Oh, Simon's joining the conversation. Andy's saying that he knows that Alex and Simon feel misrepresented. So Andy asks, what is your reaction to seeing yourselves on the show? She's saying there's moments of it that they're really happy with, and there's moments that they were surprised by. So Bethany's like, you are saying on camera like that you want to move up in social circles. Why are you denying it now? Just own it. Like, and the other girls are kind of agreeing too. Like, just own it. Like, just own that you want to. You're a social climber. I mean, you already said it. Like, you got to own it. They're saying we don't want to be any other status than you are. Please, please, please. Yeah, Bethany's saying like on camera you're so pretentious. Like you're really like trying to amp up this like spending and like how much you spend on things and like how you're rearing your children and that type of thing. Which Ramona's like, I'm bored. And he's asking if the other women feel misrepresented and if they think that Alex and Simon were misrepresented. Bethy's like, I own everything. Like the whole embarrassing Jason moving in situation. Like Luann said she was not misrepresented. Jill says everybody was represented accurately. Jill's like, Simon, why are you here? This is supposed to be the five of us, the cast members, the wives. They're kind of attacking Alex and Simon. I don't like that. I don't overly love them, but I don't like the attacking. I mean, it's not like new Housewives where they're really, really attacking, but it just feels a little icky to me. Jill asks again, asking Simon, why are you here? Simon's not really answering the question. Oh my God, Andy said recently some nude photos have surfaced of Alex. Oh, Ramona's getting up. She has to go to the ladies' room. Bethany said she doesn't want to be associated with nude photos. Alex says it's not a big deal. It was in between her pregnancy. She got cut off by Ramona leaving, but Bethany's like, I had no problem with it. I saw it and I went back to eating my lunch. My background, my house is so sunny. Jill's asking how did the pictures get out there? Did they release them? She's saying people are going to find out how these pictures got released. Simon said once they knew that the pictures were going to get out, they embraced it. So they did release the photos. Okay, hold on. Andy's asking all the girls, would you pose nude for Playboy or whatever? All the girls are saying no. Bethany's like, I'm a spokesperson for Pepperidge Farm. That's not exactly the epitome of an American girl. It comes out later that Bethany did like Skinamax, like soft porn, and her boobs were out. So, hello? Hello. Everything comes to light, honey. Everything comes to light. Okay, we're saying goodbye to Simon now. Okay, we're talking about the rivalry between Jill and Ramona. Ramona says they're both strong women, and he's asking what Bethany's assessment is of their rivalry. She says they're both strong people, as she agrees. They're in overlapping circles. Andy goes, who would win in a fist fight? I think Ramona. Bethany said Ramona. I think Ramona too. She's like, she could be mean. Jill's like all bark, no bite, I think. So Jill's talking about how Ramona hurt her feelings again with not inviting her to the cooking party, but she's gotten over it. Ramona apologized, but Jill says she wants to defend herself. She's like, you lied. You invited Luann. You didn't invite me. That hurt my feelings. Ramona goes, sorry, you're not the center of my universe, Jill. I think they're moving on. So Andy goes, what happened to the Luca show? If you remember, that's when Jill didn't have the front row seat. She had the second row seat. And Jill's like, it was Allie's first day of school and I just didn't want to be there. And that's the truth. No, it's not. You weren't in the front row. It's on camera. I didn't get it with these girls like it's on camera. She's like, honestly, I don't care if I'm front row or second row. Please. Luann said that Ramona should have given up her front row seat. That would have never happened, ever. Ramona's like, you stormed out and made a big scene. And they're moving on. So Ramona's saying that Andy asked a question about like, I don't know, like, are there other sides that you weren't caught on camera? And Ramona's like, yeah, I'm very outspoken and like that's the most entertaining part, so that's what they're gonna show. But there's another part to me that's very soft. And Bethany agrees. They just did a cute like package of like Jill and Bethany and their cute dynamic. I love their dynamic. Unfortunately, it doesn't last forever, but so Andy's asking what the experience has meant to all the women. So Jill's saying that she's just very grateful for the show and how well it's done. Alex is saying that she's gotten a lot of good feedback on like her and Simon's relationship. Luann goes, I want to write a book because everybody's asking me about like etiquette and that type of thing, which we know what the book is called. Later comes. I don't know if it's next season or what. And then Luann goes, I'm going to start modeling again because they call it the lifestyle division. People over 40 have reached out and she's going to be very busy. And then Ramona talks about she's going to start a skincare line. Oh, Bethany's releasing a book called Naturally Thin. All right, that concludes The Real Housewives of New York City Season 1 reunion and the whole season. I look a little sweaty. That's great. Yeah, I was really good. I love rewatching these shows because every time I see them, I see something different in them, and it's like fantastic. So I'm really excited that I got to watch it with you guys. What are your thoughts on the season, on the reunion? This is so old school. I love it. I love just kicking it back. It just reminds me of like easier times, but thank you so much for hanging out with me. And yeah, hit that subscribe button to check out all my other stuff that's upcoming. I will link down below in the description the playlist to all the episodes in this season. And thanks again for hanging out with me. And I will check you on the next one.